get started, I just want to present you with this award.
Oh, I'm getting an award?
Yes, it's a. I feel like it's an award from the culture, from the independence, from the streets, I guess. Get to know world needs visionaries.
Oh, thank you.
What I mean? We appreciate you.
Oh, goodness.
Appreciate you for everything.
Man, thank you. That's such a pleasant surprise. Ooh, this is real glass.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is beautiful. Thank you so much, man.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Can I just put it like right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's nice. Thank you so much. What a pleasant surprise.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So we're at Hot 103.9, 93.9 with, I feel like, the voice of Carolina. Neat. You hear on the radio. She all over the place, man, handling events. So I just want to give you your flowers for, everything you do for the independent scene in Carolina.
Thank you.
Also on the radio, So I guess my first question is, how did you get started in radio?
How did I get started in radio? So I decided I loved music, but I couldn't sing and I couldn't rap. You know what I mean? So it was just like, what's the next thing that I can do? And Georgia State actually had a college radio station. It's 100,000 watts. Like, it covers part of the panhandle of Florida, like all of Georgia, and then also Alabama as well. And so I was a mass communications major. And so we had, radio, television, and like newspaper print, part of our curriculum. And so I started working at the college radio station. And really, to be honest with you, because my major was more like special effects behind the scenes, television and stuff like that. That was like what I really was enjoying doing. But I got a job in radio first. Like, somebody heard me from, at the time it was Hot 97.5 in Atlanta. And they was like, hey, you should submit what is called an air check. It's just like a sample of your voice on the air. And, and the rest is history. So I started in college radio.
College radio. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how was your journey so far? From then to now?
To now?
Yeah.
It's been a natural progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's had some highs and some lows. It's had some peaks and it's had some valleys. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, but that's just part of life, as a challenge. But, I've definitely been able to grow. So that's definitely a good thing, from doing overnights, which is like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then able to, once I did that at like Hot 97.5, then I went to Macon, Georgia, and then I did afternoon drive from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then, a good friend of mine, Harold Banks, had called me and was like, hey, they got a position open here in Columbia. And since I've been here in Columbia, I've been able to be like the music director, assistant program director, and still being on the air as well. So it's been a natural career progression. And so, I'm thankful and grateful.
Okay. So what's the most challenging part of your job?
I would probably say not being able to play all the artists on the air. There are some super duper talented people. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, I, have the independent show. So that was able to kind of open it up. But, you just humanly can't put everybody in rotation. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's probably one of my biggest challenges.
Okay. So how did you get your personality, like your name?
Well, when I was actually doing overnights at Hot 97.5 is 107.9 now, there was a DJ by the name of Cash Money. And, a very talented DJ out of Philadelphia. And he was actually in town for an event. And so his manager was like, yo, you should call yourself Nick at Night. He's like, like Nickelodeon Nick at Night. But he was like, your name, my full name is Shanique. And so he was like, yo, you should call yourself Neek at Night, and I was like, you know what, I like that. So yep, he was the one that actually gave me my name. And then what was funny was, and then somebody was saying this, his name is Ryan Cameron, morning show guy. He was like, well, you coming on during the day, so what you gonna call yourself, Neek during the day? And I was like, yup. So that's how Neek during the day, Neek at Night came about.
Wow, that's crazy. All right. So what is your end goal for radio?
My end goal for radio, the industry is changing a lot, right? So you kind of look at what's happening. You're looking at the trends, and so you're contemplating, thinking like, okay, exactly what is going to be the end game when it comes to radio. I don't know exactly. I'll ride it till I can't ride it anymore. To be honest with you, but I also have a separate company which is called Night and Day Consultants, of course, after my name. But and what I've found, working here at the radio station is I have a love for actually putting events together. So that was something that was developed more as I was working here. And so I definitely want to start doing more, conferences, concerts, shows, things of that nature. And then also I help out with some marketing as well. So.
Okay. So speaking of trends, how do you stay on top of current events, the latest news, buzzing songs coming up out of South Carolina in the world as a whole?
Okay, so as far as current events are concerned, it's all of us take and scroll on social media. But then it's what I like to do on top of that, and this is just, background from at school and, journalism, is you got to research it. You can't believe everything that's just on social media. Right. So I would say, yes, there's some things on social media, but then there's some stuff that I also research. There's certain sites that I'll take and I'll go to SOHH, things of that nature. Because sometimes you're not going to always catch everything on social media. So those would, I do that as far as show prep every day. And I'm sorry, what was the second half of your question?
The second half was staying on top of buzzing songs coming up out.
Oh, okay. So, there's people that'll tell me about stuff. There's also being that I have exclusively independent on the show, and, also Mahogany still works for me as well. People just constantly send stuff all the time. I'm gonna be honest with you. People know that I work at the radio station. The word has kind of gotten out about exclusively independent. So it's just man, I probably get anywhere. It just depends on the week. I'm going to say anywhere between 50 to 100 emails. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's not just artists from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's also other independent artists from other areas. When we first started the show, it was solely based on South Carolina artists. And I found that we needed to open it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, all right. My next question will be, how do you balance professional life with personal life?
I am probably the most public-private person if that makes sense.
Private person. Okay.
So, the thing about it is because I'm out in the public so much, my private life, I, kind of just keep that to myself. And that's how I balance it out. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to always, see pictures of my family or, significant other. And that's just, you know what I mean? I'm just I got to keep some things to myself because I'm just always, out so much and doing so much in the community and things of that nature. So that's, that's how I kind of balance things out. But, when it's time to cut it off, it's time to cut it off. People will try to go ahead and call you at 10 o'clock at night, wanting to talk business. And, if it's not a significant amount of money, I'm I'm asleep. I got to go to bed. I like to get my rest. So.
Have you had a I made it moment yet?
A what now?
I've made it moment yet?
I don't think so. You know what I mean? My thing is that even though we've been really fortunate and we've been really, really blessed to be number one for so many years, you know what I mean? That when I say that is a blessing, it's a blessing. But I'm always strategic, you know what I'm saying, in what it is that I do, and you know how I'm still trying to progress. So there's been some, oh man, that's amazing, or like, oh wow, I get to do this, you know what I mean? So, but I can't necessarily say, because I'm still striving for more. I'm still striving for more. So
All right. I feel like you're a great interviewer.
thank you.
So like how do you prepare? Like how do you connect with so many people? Like on that type, like on a conversation level.
First and foremost, I always remember everybody is human,
Yeah.
right? You know, it doesn't matter, you know, what your profession is. You're an artist, you know, we've had athletes in here, we've had actors and actresses in here, you know, authors of books, like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't stop at just interviewing musical artists, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is they're human, number one. Number two, it's like I will continue to research. I mean, I will look at other YouTube videos. I will just continue to keep digging till I can find some different stuff on some people where it's like, oh, you know about that? Because I mean, traditionally everybody kind of almost asks the same questions, but then I also am like, I know they get bored answering the same questions over and over again. So I try to give my delivery just a little bit different. And then I just like to ask them questions that just really don't have anything to do with the industry, but it also gives all of us an inside look to how they are as a person sometimes too. So that's just kind of how I approach it. I'm like, I don't want them to be bored, because I had an experience where I saw artists getting bored and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to switch it up. So that I would say, really, I honestly have to give the credit to Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy?
Yes, because when I was interviewing him one time and he came in here, like he just looked so bored, like here we go again. I got to answer this question, you know, this, that, and the third. And then I thought to myself, like, you know what? He probably has, you know, been asked some of these same questions throughout his whole career. And I was like, okay, my approach needs to be different. Like, I need to switch it up. So I actually have to give him credit, because when I saw him and his facial expression, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. You know, I don't like that. So, yeah. You want to leave a lasting impression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I guess, what's your favorite genre of music?
What's my favorite genre? Hip hop. I mean,
Hip-hop.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
Okay.
I'm originally from New Jersey, so growing up in the tri-state area and, you know, witnessing and seeing some of the greats come up, definitely, like, that's, you know, that's my favorite. But of course, you know, I have an appreciation and love for R&B. Mom and Dad would get up on Saturday mornings and, you know, throw on the R&B music, and we cleaning up the house and washing clothes and all that other good stuff. And, you know, I enjoy EDM music though, because it's just a different type of energy. You know, I love dance and house music. Definitely that was very popular where I'm from. Still, Jersey club music has morphed itself from, you know, dance music, and yeah, so